Nagpapatuloy po ang unang araw ng investigasyon ng Senado sa nagbitiw na DILG Undersecretary na si Rico Puno.
At nasa mismong pagdinig nga po si Puno, panoorin na po natin.
Meron din silang programa ilo-launch ulit to replace or similar to STL. So if STL has been ineffective because of the weaknesses in the program, then this new program under a new name would suffer the same fate if the weaknesses will not be addressed. Ganun pala, franchise holders would be the wetting operators themselves. So parang naunahan po nila, no? Inunahan na lang nila yung programa by running the entire program actually. Do you confirm this, General Bartolome? The information received and just expounded on by the Archbishop?
Madam Chair, members of the Senate, there were indeed difficulties as far as operations against wetting is concerned, considering that they refer to STL operations as their front, meaning they have their own identification card for STL operations, so much so that when they get arrested by our police operatives, they present their identification, and in the process, our police officers are the ones charged. We have so many cases where after conducting operation, it's sad to say that our police officers are now the ones facing charges, Madam Chair, members of the Senate. Nonetheless, we continued our operations despite all of these setbacks. And in the process, from January to date, we have filed 1,666 cases for gambling operations, 62 for wetting, and 1,604 for other forms of gambling. And we have arrested 6,273, 259 for wetting, and 6,014 for other forms of gambling.
Please forgive me, I have to interrupt. What are these figures for? What period of time do they cover?
January to September this year, Madam Chair.
This year, compared to last year, or let's say from July 10, which was the appointment day of Undersecretary Puno. Would you know?
I will get the data, Madam Chair.
All right, please proceed.
Excuse me, Madam Chairperson. Can you also mention conviction rate if there have been any convictions?
I will have to get the data on this, Senator.
Okay, po.
Yes, sir.
Let me just say this, and then I'll call Senator Cayetano. Mr. Puno has categorically pointed out that notwithstanding your personally naming him as one of the persons who benefit from the illegal wetting operation since 2010 when you first appeared in the Senate, nonetheless, no cases have been filed against him, meaning to say there is no evidence. He is correct because in the Court of Justice, hearsay testimony is not considered evidence. It is not allowed under the rules of court. So this is no longer a legal question. It becomes a moral question. It goes to the moral integrity of the person who is making the declaration. Let me put it this way. How old are you, Mr. Archbishop? You're already past retirement age.
Yes, ma'am. I'm now 78.
You're 78.
Going 78. Thank you for asking.
And presumably, you are already comfortable with the prospect of meeting your maker.
In a way, yes.
You are a retired Archbishop of the Catholic Church. You are a former and very esteemed professor at the Mary Hill School of Theology. Therefore, you believe in the Ten Commandments, particularly in the Nicene Creed, the prayer of the Catholics that begins with, I believe in God the Father Almighty, etc. I presume, therefore, that you have no motive in pursuing your crusade against illegal huweting. Or is there? And if so, please tell us. What is your motive?
Madam Chair, in fact, I get death threats, no? I get black ribbons. I get checks at times.
Checks?
Checks. But of course, wala naman pong sigurado pong walang laman yun eh. Kaya hindi ko na ina-ingkas. Wala po akong pakinapang eh. Takbo nga kumisan, sabi ko nga eh, halos 20 taon na ako rito, wala naman nangyayari. Kaya po kumisan, siguro, patutukso na rin akong parang sabi ko, bahala na kayo sa buhay. Pero let me, just by way of looking this in a better picture, on account of the intervention of the good Senator Coco, alam niyo po ba kung ganong karami ang illegal numbers game sa Pilipinas? Eto, babasahin ko sa inyo kung gusto niyo po.
Please proceed.
So in addition to huweting, there are more than 30 forms of illegal gambling in the country. More than 30, in addition to huweting. These are the Alpor, Beto-Beto, Biyaya, Bookies, Color Game, Dice, Ending, First Ball, 41, 44, Fruit Game, Hataw, Last Two, Loteng, Masyaw, Monte, Pares-Pares, Partida, Polmol, Pula Puti, Pusoy, Pusoy Dos, 4 de Jack, Roulette, Sakla, Salisi, Suertes, Tupada, Tong-Its, Video Carrera. Kailangan po huminga kayo ng 2 beses para masabi niyo lahat.
Ito ho ba'y para sa ngayong panahon o noon pa?
Hanggang ngayon
Hanggang
po.
ngayon.
Hanggang ngayon po ito nandito.
And since you're a Catholic and a retired cleric of the Catholic hierarchy, you believe in your heart of hearts that it's a sin to tell a lie.
Opo.
You have no motive. Have you ever earned anything from what you're doing?
Wala po. Ang totoo po niyan, meron akong sinulat na libro at iwan ko sa inyo rito to. It's about gambling per se. Pagkat ayon po sa aking imbitasyon, I'll be talking about huweting. Ito pong librong ito, iwan ko sa inyo, isa pong primer at saka ang primer po ay primer on gambling. At ang isa po ay gambling in the Republic. Iwan ko po sa inyo ito pagkat wala naman po mabasa ni nanay ko, hindi binabasa to. Kaya pagtsagaan nyo na, iiwan ko po sa inyo. Sa inyo na po ito.
Archbishop, you're already 78 years old. Anything you say after your death will be considered hearsay. But there's an exception in the rules of court. If you make a statement under consciousness of impending death, that statement will be admitted in court as an exception to the hearsay rule. Do you wish to make a statement? As a dying declaration?
Saka na lang po, wag muna.
Right. Let me return to Undersecretary Puno. Let's return to my original question. Is it true that in addition to your appointment as Undersecretary for Peace and Order, the President specifically gave you so-called operational control, which is not a legal term, or in other words, exclusive jurisdiction over the PNP to the exclusion of Secretary Robredo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I would like to explain the setup of the department. We are 2 undersecretaries under the Department of Interior and Local Government. The other undersecretary is Undersecretary Osteo Panadero, who is in charge with the local government side, while I am with the Peace and Order side, which takes care of the uniformed personnel, that includes the fire and the jail. The setup with regards to the police is I report and represent the secretary and give him advice and give him other reports to the secretary who is chairman of the NAPOLCOM, and the NAPOLCOM oversees the Philippine National Police, while the operational control of the Philippine National Police is with the Chief of the Philippine National Police, the Director General there. However, just like what happened last August 18, I get special direct instructions from the President to investigate and all of these things I report also to the Secretary.
So let me ask you the categorical question. You are in effect claiming it is not true that you had operational control or any other form of exclusive supervision over the PNP. Is that correct? You deny it.
Yes, Madam Chair.
That's correct.
Yes.
You had no such exclusive power. All right. Now, let me just add one more question. In your capacity as Undersecretary for Peace and Order, have you ever altered anything that the PNP chief, the Director General, John, did during your term of office? Have you ever altered anything?
None.
Have you modified anything?
None. All of these.
Have you nullified anything?
No.
The definition of control is to alter, modify, nullify, or set aside. So did you ever set aside anything that the Director General did?
None, Your Honor.
Now, I'm going to later on to bring up the fact that although you're not a member of the Bids and Awards Committee of the PNP, apparently you stepped in during the process and talked to the applicant suppliers. Is that true?
I sit in the Bids and Awards Committee as an observer.
As an observer.
Part of the my job as the Undersecretary also is to monitor and make suggestions if possible, if there are any, it's needed. But I sit there as an observer.
But what you suggested apparently became the policy of the police in that particular respect. The purchase of the firearms, which we shall come to later.
All final decision is with the Bids and Awards Committee. I am not a voting member of the Bids and Awards Committee.
So the public understanding that you are in control of the PNP to the exclusion of your own secretary is not true. You deny it categorically under oath.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, just to be safe, may I request all the resource persons to stand up? And Secretary of the Committee, will you please administer the oath?
Please raise your right hand. Do you all swear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this committee, so help you God? Please be seated.
Thank you. Mr. Archbishop, I will now confirm what you have just reconfirmed since 2010. Wetting is as strong as ever, everywhere in the Philippines, but most specifically in Luzon. Since the PNP has the mandate to prevent and investigate crimes in our country, and since the Undersecretary for Peace and Order has the power of supervision, just the power to see that they're obeying the laws or implementing the laws, then it appears that both the PNP chief and the Undersecretary for Order and Safety have been remiss in their duties. That is the implication of our statement to us today. And now I just wish to confirm your statement from my own confidential agencies or confidential agents. Yes, there is wetting. Even after, Mr. Puno, you're appointed on July 10. Here is the list. In National Capital Region with 16 cities, 6 have wetting in full view of the public. Quezon City, Makati, San Juan, Manila, Pasay, Mandaluyong. Out of, I repeat, 16 cities, 6 at least are tolerating wetting in the sense that they never get arrested. Region 3 in Central Luzon, Bataan, Nueva Ecija, Pangasinan, Bulacan, Zambales, Pampanga. Region 4, 4A, Calabarzon, Laguna, Batangas, Cavite, Quezon Province. Of course, I have sources of information in addition to those that I used in 2010. But in 2010, I said money from wetting bets are called gross receipts. the biggest gross receipts in Luzon are, in order of amount, on a daily, repeat daily, araw-araw. Here are the gross receipts for Hueteng. Laguna, 14 million in 2010, 1.4. Pampanga, 9 million. Pangasinan, 9 million. Batangas, 8.5 million. Bulacan, 8 million. Nueva Ecija, 7.5 million. Quezon, 7.5 million. And then I added this observation. From this intake of money, 34% is deducted as operational expenses, and then the remainder is split on the national level. I also gave what the splitting process involved in the provincial, regional, and municipal levels. But let's just limit ourselves to the national level. In 2010, I said 1% of the net earnings goes to the syndicate consisting of the DILG secretary or undersecretary chief, or undersecretary, the PNP chief, and the CIDG head, etc. So, madaling salita, kung ilang bilyon ang kinikita, 1% of that will go either to the DILG secretary or undersecretary, plus to the PNP chief, and plus to the CIDG head. Archbishop, in your estimate, how much money is made on Hueteng on an annual basis?
Frankly, we have not made the total,
The computation.
the computation, but your records are well made and well counted for. So kami po wala nung ganun.
Kaya, if we go by your version of what is transpiring in our country, Hueteng has never been affected at all because it has not diminished since the incumbency of Mr. Puno as Undersecretary for Peace and Order.
You're correct po.
May I hear you again, please? What is the answer?
You are correct.
I am correct.
Yes po.
Mr. Puno appears not to have made any dent in the rising statistics concerning illegal Hueteng in our country. And I've always maintained that illegal Hueteng is the biggest source of corruption in our country. When we talk about culture of corruption in our country, we're talking actually of Hueteng. The others are minute by comparison. Ngayon, ito kung ganyan pala kalawak ang Hueteng at ganyan pala kalakas ang kinikita, ibig lang sabihin, meron po protect nito. Meron naman tayong kapulisan eh. Merong protector ang Hueteng.
Imposible pong wala eh. Pagkat illegal po yan. At saka, yung pong nasa baba, yung mga on the ground people, they know who are the waiting lords. They know who are the waiting operators. They know. Ang hindi lang nakakaalam, yung mga nasa taas ng ating pamahalaan. Pero yung pong nasa baba, kutsero, barbero, tubero, kaminero, surbetero, lahat po alam nila.
Thank you for that observation. We shall take it into full consideration concerning, in view of your impeccable moral credentials at this hearing. That is a fact. Hueteng is all around us, and nobody says, washing his hands, I don't know anything about it. But we have a government department concentrated only on stopping Hueteng. So, there is something that does not compute in this picture. Senator Cayetano?
If I may go back to Chief PNP. Sir, I know it'll be too long to ask for a complete assessment here, but maybe you can submit to the committee. Because the information to me as read by the same kay sa ating chairperson po, diba? Like, when she first made her speech, there was much more areas in Metro Manila na lantaran yung Hueteng. No? And as you heard her say, ngayon, 6. So there are changes. There are places na siguro grumabe. There are places na wala. There are places na yung guerrilla type or whatever. But we've so far heard the overall assessment, hindi ho yung per area. But what I'd wanted to ask directly, to link it up with a discussion that we're having here in the Senate, humihingi ng dagdag kapangyarihan yung Anti-Money Laundering Council. Paulit-ulit silang bumabalik sa amin dito at paulit-ulit nilang gustong palakihin yung kapangyarihan nila. And I share your frustration, Mr. Chief PNP, na Kung sino lumaban sa weteng, minsan sila pa napagbibintangan. Ang kalaban nyo, marami silang pera, maraming koneksyon, pero yung hamak na police natin na siya ang humuli, makakasuhan siya, wala pa siyang abogado. Diba? So parang baliktad yung the experience of Archbishop Cruz. Kung yung whistleblower Archbishop, siya pa ang kawawa. No? Siya pa ang nakakasuhan, siya pa nawawalan ng hanap buhay yung pamilya and everything. No? Nangyayari din sa iba nating pulis na magagaling na humuhuli talaga. So I'd like to ask, sir, and Yusek Puno could interject if he knows the answer. Is there a effort with the PNP, the DILG, and the and with the AMLAC, no, or the Anti-Money Laundering Council? Because, for example, no, may 4 o 5 binanggit si Senator Miriam na basically between the 5 or 6 of them operate supposedly in the whole country. And some of these names are open, naririnig. In fact, some of the names, sir, dati parang sumusuporta lang sa politiko. But later on, sila na mismo ang sumasali sa politika eh. So parang nung araw po, pagka ikaw ay nakalink sa masama, tago ka. Then later on, medyo lumabas na at sumusuporta sa politiko. Ngayon, yung iba, the same with narco-politics, for example. Senator Trillanes was telling me that they're monitoring certain areas na yung drug lords hindi na sumusuporta. Sila mismo ang tumatakbo na. No? So, sir, how valuable or how, very honestly, no, nakakatulong ba sa inyo ang anti-money laundering or do we still get stuck up with the technicalities? Because yun ang tanong ko parati sa AMLAC eh. Bakit pag humingi kayo ng power sa amin, ang dami yung parating sinasabi. Pero pagka nag-iimbestiga kami, weteng, fertilizer scam, ZTE, kung ano-anong mga anomalya sa gobyerno, hindi nyo naman kami mabigyan. Eh, imposible naman po na, ma'am, is it correct? 30 billion a year ho ba? Or something like that? 20-30 billion a year? Yeah. Rough estimate 30 billion a year. Hindi ho ako naniniwalang hindi dumadaan ito sa banking system natin eh. At kahit sabihin nyo hong 10% lang ang dumaan sa banking system, no? So that's 3 billion pesos a year, no? So, sir, how this is an organized crime type of fight eh, oh? 'Di ba? Hindi to, although it's in many places at sasabihin mo kobrador, hindi namang ano yan, but because of the protection and the hierarchy, no? How valuable or how, can I use the word lousy? No? So far, halimbawa po, is there at least one case where the AMLAC were you able to coordinate with AMLAC and give a name and then na-flag nila? Or, kasi ngayon po, halimbawa, nagbibigay sila ng intelligence for intelligence purposes ng report nila, binibigay sa BIR. Kayo ho ba binibigyan din for intelligence purposes ng halimbawa ilan na flag na accounts ng certain people suspected, for example, of money laundering in connection with illegal gambling po?
Your Honor, Madam Chair, indeed, there are still wetting operations because in our record, we have had several arrests and several cases filed. And the coordination with AMLAC will be very essential in our campaign against this.
But sir, very bluntly right now, and we can work out the details in a technical working committee later, but right now ho, asset ba na malaki sa inyong AMLAC or hindi nagagamit talaga fully ng PNP sa laban, for example, sa wetting lang po?
Your Honor, we believe that AMLAC can be of help to us in our operation against wetting.
So meaning, sir, magsa-start pa lang kayo. But in the past, and I know, hindi naman kayo ang Chief PNP noon, but Yusek po na, in the past ho ba, meron ho bang katulad po in the last year, no, we saw that the BIR and AMLAC are working together. Meron po bang ganun sa PNP or sa ano, or I understand also AMLAC has to deal with the technicalities that are in the law, no? But what I want to know from you is that have they been effective at nakakatulong ba sa inyo, or are you looking at it as a prospective pa lang? Sa pagkaalam ko po, wala eh. Pero if you're talking about gambling, but if you're talking of the other transnational crimes na pinag-uusapan, I have concentrated, meron po.
Katulad ng illegal drugs, halimbawa.
Illegal drugs, yung mga cyber crimes natin.
Okay. But sir, just to be fair to everyone, no? Tinanong ni Senator Miriam kanina kay Archbishop, matagal na ba to? I think most of these were Spanish time pa ho, di ba? Kaya nga Huweteng ang pangalan. Nabanggit mo, Archbishop, Monte, Sakla, all of them use yung barahan na may oros, espada. These are centuries old, no, na ingrained sa atin. But that's another question I'd like to ask the gentleman, Yusek Puno, Chief PNP at Archbishop. Nagkakaroon po ba tayo ng kahirapan na isend ang message sa tao o sa mamamayan na masama ang gambling kung meron tayong legal gambling in one hand and illegal gambling on the other hand? Sige po, Bishop.
Ang may sasagot ko po dyan sa aking kaalaman ay yung una yung tinanong sa kanila about the unlock. At tama naman po yung sinabi na yung mga droga ay kasama dyan. Ang pakitingin po ay kung ginagamit ang mga kasino sa Huweteng Payola. Meron po kaming mga information at tenable naman na ito pong Huweteng money, which are billions, pinapadaan po sa casino and for the semblance of legality.
Because for the record, Archbishop, para alam ng mamayan, because the casinos are not covered by the anti-money laundering law, meaning when you get a certain amount, when you put, for example, 500,000 in a bank, na-flag na po yun. Pero sa casino, as of today, I heard Senator Coco, yet, no? Because that's one of the proposals na isama sila. But let me just modify with the permission of the Chair my question. I'm speaking ho from experience kasi marami ho nagsasabi. Alam niyo po, sa dami ng krimen, sa pagnanakaw, kidnapping, petty crime, droga, sabi nila, 70 o 80% of crime is drug-related. Mauubos din ang oras ng polis kung cops and robbers ang gagawin, habulan sa illegal gambling. Kaya yung iba sinasabi, turuan natin at pakiusapan ng mga kababayan natin, huwag kayong tumaya. Kasi pag walang tumaya, wala namang magiging illegal gambling. But for example ho sa amin sa Taguig, pinagbawal po ng mayor yung sabong, hindi binigyan ng permit. Walang bagong mga legalized gambling, etc. Pero nahihirapan po ituro sa tao na huwag kayong tumaya. Kung meron legal gambling na tinatawag natin na gaming, and then meron naman illegal gambling. So parang pag sa mahirap ang Huweteng, bawal po yan, wag. Pero sa mayaman ang casino, pwede yan. So I was just asking from a law enforcement point of view, and then Bishop, dahil sa'yo, both physical and spiritual tong krusada mo, di ba? Is part of the difficulty of getting rid of illegal gambling